Diving into the shadows of Central City reveals a villain who's more than just an enemy. He's a walking contradiction and the ultimate dark reflection of our favorite speedster. Let's talk about Reverse Flash, Eobard Thawne. What drives someone to despise their own idol? How does admiration twist into a century-long obsession fueled by pure hatred? Buckle up as we unravel the terrifying legacy of the man who makes time itself his weapon. To really get a grip on Reverse Flash, we need to jump way into the future, specifically the 25th century. Here we meet Eobard Thawne, a brilliant scientist living in a world where the Flash, Barry Allen, is a legendary figure, almost mythical. For Eobard, the Flash wasn't just some historical hero, he was an obsession. He poured his entire life into studying Barry, trying to understand his powers, and ultimately wanting to become him. He idolized Barry with a passion that was borderline crazy. Eobard was so smart that he actually managed to recreate the accident that gave Barry his powers. He soaked himself in the Speed Force, finally achieving his dream of becoming a speedster, just like his hero. But that was just the beginning. Using his genius, he built the Cosmic Treadmill, a device that allowed him to travel through time. His goal? Simple: to meet the Flash in person. Can you imagine the excitement? All that hard work leading to one epic moment. So, he hops on the treadmill and races back to the 21st century. But guess what? The hero he finds isn't what he expected. Eobard learns a horrifying truth. He's not destined to be the Flash's greatest ally, but his ultimate enemy, the Reverse Flash. The records show he's fated to become everything he hates: a villain, a murderer, and the one who brings Barry Allen unimaginable pain. This revelation completely shatters Eobard's mind. His idolization turns into a toxic hatred. His love for the Flash morphs into a psychopathic obsession to destroy him. If he's destined to be the villain, then he's going to be the greatest villain ever. He takes on the name Professor Zoom and flips the Flash's iconic suit into that terrifying yellow and red outfit we know today. His motivation shifts from admiration to a burning need to prove he's better than Barry. It's no longer about being like the Flash. It's about being faster and ultimately erasing him from existence. Now this is where the timeline becomes a battleground. Eobard's knowledge of the future and mastery of the Speed Force make him a ridiculously dangerous foe. He doesn't just fight Barry in the present, he wages war across Barry's entire life. He becomes a phantom, a ghost in time, capable of striking at any moment, past, present, or future. Think about how terrifying that is. Your worst enemy knows every secret, every weakness, every person you love, and can attack them at any point in their lives. This leads us to the most defining act of cruelty in their rivalry, one that shapes Reverse Flash's character. Consumed by rage and a desire to completely ruin Barry's life, Thawne travels back to the night of Nora Allen's murder. In his original timeline, this event never happened at Thawne's hand, but in his twisted need for revenge, he decides to create a new, more painful reality for Barry. He goes back in time, not just to kill Barry's mother, but to frame his father, Henry Allen, for the crime. In one devastating moment, Eobard Thawne orphans Barry, shatters his family, and sets him on a tragic path. He doesn't just want to beat the Flash, he wants to unmake him, to ensure Barry never finds happiness. This act creates a temporal paradox, tying Thawne to Barry's timeline. In a cruel twist of fate, by creating the tragedy that defines the Flash, Thawne ensures the very existence of the hero he despises. He becomes trapped in a loop of hatred, his existence now tied to Barry's. He needs the Flash to exist so he can torment him. This is the heart of their conflict. It's not just good versus evil, it's a deeply personal vendetta that spans timelines. Every time Barry punches Thawne, he's hitting the man who murdered his mother. And every time Thawne races against Barry, he's racing against the idol who he believes betrayed him by making him a villain. Thawne's goal is to inflict maximum psychological pain. He'll vibrate his hand through a friend's chest and tell Barry, "It was me, Barry." He'll ruin a victory and whisper, "It was me, Barry." He positions himself as the author of all of Barry's pain. This relentless campaign is all about proving he's the superior speedster. In his mind, if he can make Barry suffer more than anyone else, if he can break his spirit, he will have finally won. He wants to be the main character in Barry's story, even if it means being the villain. His ego is so massive that he'd rather be remembered as the Flash's greatest enemy then fade into obscurity as just another fan. He weaponizes his knowledge, his speed, and time itself to feed this insatiable need for validation. Over the years, this has led to some of the most epic and heartbreaking conflicts in comic book history. From Flashpoint, where Barry's attempt to save his mother creates a dystopian reality that Thawne gleefully manipulates, to his countless returns from apparent death. Thawne is the ultimate cockroach of the DC universe. He's a living paradox, a man who shouldn't exist but keeps going through sheer willpower and hatred. He embodies the negative Speed Force, a corrupting influence that seeks to devour the light of the positive Speed Force that Barry represents. Eobard Thawne's legacy isn't just that of a villain, it's a tragedy. He's a cautionary tale about how obsession can poison admiration, and how a sense of entitlement can turn into pure evil. He had the potential to be a hero, to use his incredible intellect and powers for good, but his inability to accept his own destiny led him down a dark path with no return. He's forever a reverse, a negative, a shadow cast by the bright light of the Flash. A man who runs not toward a goal, but away from his own insignificance, forever chasing a hero he can never become. And that's the dark, twisted tale of Eobard Thawne. What do you find most terrifying about Reverse Flash? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive, smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss our next adventure into the world of heroes and villains. Until next time, stay safe and keep reading.